What's up? It's Guru Jojo. This video is gonna be pretty much like a little bit of a biography. My mom and I my mom's coming over right now to help me like move more stuff. Basically I moved out of my old room and I moved into, well, okay, this used to be my old room when I was very, very young. I moved out when I was like 12. And then the other room that was jacked up, like the paint and stuff, the paint job in there, that was, and I ripped I ripped my closet apart. I'm just one of those people, like, I have an idea and I try it, and I was just like, because, all right, I'll show you guys. Basically, you see how this closet is? It's one of those closets that have like the sliding, and it like came off the hinges, and I just got pissed off, so I just like ripped it completely off, and I had put that tapestry, so like that's why my room looked a little bootleg, all right? But other than that, I moved into my old room that I lived in when I was 12, and that I lived in, whatever, that I slept in. I stay in my room. I don't really come out that often unless I'm just like getting food, or if I'm because I don't watch TV and the TV's down there. It's not the point. So my mom's gonna be coming over soon, and as you can see, I literally live in like the flipping woods. God damn, I don't know if it's like it's the woods, like straight up over here. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking about, because my mom is Catholic. No, she's not. She's Baptist. And I grew up Catholic, and we're just gonna be talking about like our belief systems and like just how we're able to get along despite our differences in philosophical beliefs, because it actually took a couple years for my mom and I to actually be able to come to a consensus as it relates to that. So I thought it was like a pretty interesting topic, and yeah, so should be fun. Okay, so my mom's here. Say hi.
Hi.
We're gonna be doing a video about
let me fix my hair.
spirituality and stuff. What's wrong with the lighting? Oh, there we go. So I think we should do it like later after, because we're gonna be cleaning out my closet.
Yeah.
But this is my mom, Shirley. Oh snap! It's showing like the dirty parts of messy parts of my room.
That's okay.
Oh snap!
Shoot, your battery's low.
Yeah, I know. It's alright. We're gonna charge it. Move away from the room. Move away. Move away from the room. Oh snap! That's the iron board. It don't even matter.
How about this way?
So
this is better.
This is my mom.
Hi, I'm Johanna's mom.
Why are you talking like that for?
I'm talking weird.
She's weird too.
I'm just a little
just
weird.
like me.
Just like her. My twin.
So all right, so we're gonna clean out my closet. So we'll see you later. Deuce.
Peace out.
Anyways, growing up, I was a very difficult child according to my parents.
Very true.
But also according to teachers and whatnot.
You was a class clown.
I was a class clown, so I got in trouble quite often. I got put in detention, ISS, whatever it be. I also had extreme emotional expression, so I was very short with people, and so I had sort of like a little bit of uncontrolled anger. But so this caused me to get into a lot of fights and whatnot with people, and then
You was always misunderstood because you had so much.
Because I was very quiet, and I was very extreme. So I was a class clown, right? But if like family and stuff came over, what was like the first thing I would do?
You would say hi, and then you would run upstairs in your room
and lock the door.
Yeah.
So it just depended on my mood. It depended on like how comfortable I felt, what people were around at the time, and how they were making me feel, how their energy was like. Yeah. But I was always either extremely shy or extremely outgoing my whole entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
But so Mom, I wanted to ask you, how was your experience, dealing with me being that
Very difficult.
Can I finish the questions? How
your highs, your lows, your always in trouble, very stressful.
But you got through it. So
Yeah,
and like, how do you feel?
How I got through it, to be totally honest, by keeping you involved in different activities. When I realized that you had so much energy, I had to figure out what can I do with all this energy that you have to keep you out of trouble. So I thought about different activities like gymnastics, dancing, and then cheerleading. Actually, cheerleading came from one of the neighbors in the neighborhood. Her daughter was a cheerleader, and I thought about that there may be something that you would like.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed in it for years, and
until
then I took up 16. Tumbling.
Yeah, and you took up tumbling, and you loved it, and you were good at it too. You were really, really good at it. So that's what I had to figure out. With all this energy that you have to keep you out of trouble, what can we do? How do we use this energy in a positive way, and that's something that you will enjoy doing and feel happy about, instead of always feeling sad because you stayed in trouble all the time. And I think that made you sad too. And I think that was another reason.
Because I was always kicked out of stuff. I was kicked out of Girl Scouts, CCD.
You were kicked out of a lot of stuff, and I think that could be why you.
I confirmed from CCD though. I appealed after I was kicked out temporarily.
Yeah.
So I still was able, but it just made me like I got used to being lonely because I was kicked out of stuff when I was young, and at a young age, whatever traumatic experiences you go through, regardless of the degree, you start to kind of repeat those behaviors.
Yeah, and I think it messed with your self-esteem too. I think it just made you feel like you needed to isolate yourself from people, which was the wrong thing that you did, but I think that's what you did because you felt that you always.
It was wrong when I did it to the extreme.
Problem. Like if you had a friend, and I know that sounds really weird. It's like if she had friends of threes.
Like if I had two other friends, she always used to be like, make sure there's a fourth friend.
Right, because you always was in trouble. That friend, when it was just you and that friend, your guys was good. Whenever a third person.
It was always like a subconscious jealousy. That's why threes are like that.
That's what there was always trouble for you. It was always trouble. Always. It was just horrible. And I felt bad about it. And I didn't know how to fix it. And the only thing I can think of is like what you just said. Get a fourth person. Because then, 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 1 is 3, which is not a...
I feel like something you really, really battled with was trying to figure out who you were supposed to stand by. Like, because she was very protective over me. So if a teacher called or somebody's mother called, like, complaining about my behavior, it's like my mom wanted to protect me, but at the same time, she was so pissed at me. So I feel like that was something difficult for you to experience, because it was like, I felt like you wanted to protect me, but you used to get pissed off sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's true too, because I knew you did it.
And you didn't want to be like one of those parents to be like, not my child.
Right, I never liked that.
So she was always kind of like, I know she did it, but.
Yeah, and I always apologize for all your mistakes. And I'm still apologizing. You're 27 years old. That's sad.
But anyways,
but you're growing up.
I improved a lot. Like when
yes, you have.
when I pretty much became spiritual, I was able to really maintain and manage my anger problems, because I was a short person. I mean, like, if it was the wrong day and you said one little thing wrong, there was a strong possibility you might have got popped in the head.
No, there's a strong possibility you did get popped in the head.
So, like, ever since I incorporated a spiritual lifestyle,
down a lot.
It really calmed me down, because I was able to meditate.
It helped heal you. You started
and I found a sense of belongingness with it. Like, it was stuff that I was able to, because I always collected like crystals and stuff. Like, remember, you used to get mad at me because I used to mistaken pieces of glass that I would find outside. I would mistaken that for like crystal quartz, and my mom's like, "This is glass," and I was like, "Oh, I thought it was a gemstone, like a crystal."
You finding God and learning so many things, wisdom and all of that. That was something that I think you needed in your life, because you had so much anger, and a lot of the anger came from people did that to you. Your friends, you felt that they betrayed you. They became your enemies. You hated that, and you always, and I think that's what happened with you with isolation. That when your friends
lack of communication.
And when your friends when you felt like your friends became your enemy, you didn't want friends anymore.
Yeah, like basically I would get suspicious of certain things, and that's what would make me want to like draw back.
Right.
But a lot of it was stuff that I had to develop within myself.
Yeah, but what it did for you, it made you more angry.
I get what you're saying, but the thing is too, with a spiritual lifestyle, what we do is we try to figure out what we could have done to improve. And the thing with me is what I realized was I was not communicating. I was experiencing feelings and experiencing like disapproval of certain things, but I didn't know how to get out the message. And then when it came to the point where I finally was like, I can't take this anymore, I need to say something, there's so much like irritation involved that it caused me to like express that in the worst way, and then oftentimes it led to using physical means. So, and that's why too, my first year of college, I got also kicked out, but I was able to go back. Roommate. My roommate's friend. And it's over a physical altercation, and it was mostly just because there was so much stuff that my roommate was pissing me off with that I was keeping hush and just dealing with. Because I am a laid back person. I usually go 0 to 100 real quick. So when I'm at that 0 stage, I'm very laid back, and people take advantage of that, and I don't say anything, and then I flip out. So that was my main issue, and that was what I had to learn, was how to communicate effectively to let people know how I feel, and then I wouldn't have to get to that level of anger. So that's what incorporating a spiritual lifestyle also helped me with.
And that helped you a lot. You have changed a lot. You have grown to, I think, honestly, a better person, because you learned how to control your anger, when at one point it was just really out of control.
It was bad, yeah.
It was really bad, and that wasn't good. So you did some soul searching, and you healed. And I honestly think, especially when you majored in psychology.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was like, wow. That took off for you, because I think you got to learn more about yourself.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. You saw yourself for a chance, and you realized, I need to fix this person. I don't like this person, and how can I fix this person? So when you became a psychology major, you actually studied yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I got to know myself first, and then I still am. We're always going to be trying to fully know who we are, because we're constantly developing energy as we experience situations anyway. But a last question I wanted to ask was, how did you feel? Like, how did you start to feel when I started to sort of like, so my mom had a bunch of like crucifixes hung up in my room, and prayers and stuff, and I slowly took them down and started to put up my spiritual stuff. Very slowly I did it, so I don't know if you noticed, but like basically, how did you feel when I started to convert over to a more spiritual outlook? Because I remember at first it was rough for you, but then when you start to realize it's the same thing, and I was just understanding it through a different way.
And I just really, I don't know, I can't really say how I felt. I was really curious, and I just I wanted to pay more attention to you and learn what you was going through. My thing is, I wanted to make sure that you believe in God. God, or higher power. That was my first concern. I want to make sure that you understand there is a God. God controls this universe. Things don't happen by accident. Okay? It's not a coincidence when things happen, when you meet a person. Who is this person? Where did this person come from? Why is this person talking to me? Who is this person? That person, God sends spirits, angels to us to deliver messages to us. And sometimes we get lost and we'll lose that message. But God will send somebody else to you because you missed it. So he's going to bring you someone else and deliver the same message. But now it's a different person because you missed your turn the first time. You missed the message. And when that happened, God will keep bringing people to you.
Judgment Day.
Yes. So I wanted to make sure that you understood that there's a God, and whatever you was learning religiously, that you understand that God is first. God is who created you. And as long as I knew that you love God, because God is love, I didn't have no problem with what religion you chose, as long as you understand.
She just didn't want me to be atheist or something.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. Then that would have been a problem.
Yeah, she checked. My mom has also like some psychic and spiritual gifts. So she has like clairvoyance and stuff. So
yeah, and I went to your room, and
I was gonna mention that.
I went to your room
just to make sure I wasn't doing no witchcraft or any of that stuff.
I went to your room because
she barged into my room.
I searched. I prayed. I can feel it. I can feel it through my soul, and I knew that you were fine, and I knew that this is what God wanted you to learn, and you're going to connect spiritually in your way of delivering God's message to people. And I think you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job with it.
My hand is shaking from the selfie stick.
That's okay. Shake, shake, shake.
It's heavy.
But I learned a lot too. I remember the words and the language and everything that you was throwing on me, and I was like, I don't understand none of this.
She was mad, yo. She was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Get home we were actually
cleaning. We were actually cleaning your room, your old room, when we were doing And I remember because I was speaking about like something with it was when I first started learning about the Egyptian god.
Yes.
And you was just like, no, Jesus died for us. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, never mind. Like,
yeah, because for a while you was lost with that. You didn't connect with that.
I got it. She didn't get it.
No, I understand, but
okay, when I first started to learn like my own stuff, basically, which it was a normal reaction, to be completely honest. She took it kind of as like, oh no, she's turning to the dark side. That's what she heard, because it wasn't something that you were used to, like, you know, when people only you were only seeing the situation black and white is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, you didn't understand the in between yet. So if I said I wasn't like Christian, Catholic, Baptist or whatever, she immediately heard, oh, you're practicing an evil belief. So that's why that started to distort
no, it wasn't
her perspective.
Evil. I wouldn't say it was
evil. Well, I'm saying like you weren't listening to what I was saying though, because it was almost like you just assumed the worst immediately.
That's true.
So that's what I mean by like it was you were like, if you're not like this, then you must be all the way here, and not all the way here is the opposite of what you would consider to be moral.
Right.
And then when you start to realize, oh, my daughter's saying the same shit that I'm saying, that's when it rung a bell, and then that's when she finally heard me.
Right.
My mom has Mercury retrograde for the astrology people, so you know that means like the person could be a little bit hard of hearing, not necessarily physically, but it's just like when she thinks she's right.
Yeah.
I
don't hear you. I don't hear you. I tune you out. Yeah, I'm not hearing you. But you know, I grew a lot, and you taught me a lot, and I thank you because you made me realize that, you know what, this is you. This is what you believe, and we believe in the same thing. It's just that your terminology and my terminology is totally different.
All it is. It's all.
I was brought up Baptist, and you know, in the South, you know, and that's rough, you know, back then. I don't know now. You know, everything has changed. But you know, 50 plus years ago, when you was raised Baptist, you know, you was in church all day, 8 hours, and you couldn't talk about anything else but God. It was just God and Jesus. That's Catholic. Something wrong with you.
What's your favorite song? My mom be going in, and it's like we be in Catholic church, and Catholic church is usually is all white people, and they're all pretty like you know, just mellowed out and like just chilling. My mom, once they play dum dum dum, she would grab the, what was it wasn't the Missalette, it was the other one, that one that starts with a H, a hymn, I don't know.
The hymns,
she would pick that up, and she would just be
I feel it, girl.
Eat this bread, drink this cup, and I'm just like, and
rejoice.
Rejoice.
Oh, I remember rejoice. And be glad it is. Rejoice. Okay, let's go.
Then, but we have a very like.
She's skinny, I'm fat.
All right, we out. Peace.